folks, on this video we are going to be learning about structures of the neuron. Okay, so the first part, the main part of the neuron, is called the cell body, and this is where the vast majority of the organelles are located, including, for instance, things like the nucleus, Golgi apparatus, and all the other organelles that you would associate with a cell. Coming off kind of like spokes are these tapered projections known as dendrites. And dendrites actually are bringing information towards the cell body. And so most neurons can have hundreds, if not thousands, of dendrites. In one area of the cell body, there's a triangular area, which is where nerve impulses will start. And this area is known as the axon hillock, and it leads to the one outgoing extension of the cell body, which is known as the axon. And so if you look at the picture on the far right, we have dendrites coming into the cell body. Then we have the cell body with most of the organelles. Then we have this triangular area, which is the axon hillock, from which we are going to have the axon. And then the distal end of the axon is going to branch into about 100 different branches, and each of these is called an axon terminal. And the very tip of the axon terminal is enlarged, and that is called the terminal bouton. So we go from axon hillock to axon terminal to terminal bouton. So if we go to the picture on the left where we have the large cell body, and you can clearly see the dendrites attached to it, which are in blue, you also see these brownish structures, each of which is an axon terminal with a terminal bouton. And so these are axon terminals from other neurons giving their information to the cell body or the dendrites of this blue neuron. Now, along the axon, we can have it being covered. This is in the peripheral nervous system, and it would be covered by individual cells known as Schwann cells. We know these are individual cells because on the cut surface, we can see the nucleus. And you can see the wrapping of the cell around that portion of the axon. In between adjacent Schwann cells, there is a small piece of the axon which is visible, and this little tiny area is called a node of Ranvier. Now, all of these Schwann cells together along the entire length of an axon form what is called the myelin sheath. Okay. So the myelin sheath is not one individual cell. It's the entire grouping of Schwann cells plus nodes of Ranvier in the peripheral nervous system. In the central nervous system, they would not be Schwann cells. It would be a different structure. Okay. And so that's it for this talk on structures related to a neuron in the peripheral nervous system. Thank you.